Okay, everybody. So for this week, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using Dutch Bros Media Kit. So if you were to look up pretty much a company's information, you wanted to use their logo, so just look up Media Kits, and you can probably find on their website downloadable content that you can use. And so for me, it would be like Dutch Bros Marketing Media, and then right here, Media Kits. And you scroll down and you can click on this, and these are zipped files that you'll unzip and use. So there's different ones. There's the logo. There's some of the baristas. There's some drinks. So I'm going to want you guys to download these and use them. Let me show you how to unzip a folder that's been zipped. So you click on it. It's downloaded. You click on that. And then you just press extract and then press extract again. And I just leave it in downloads. It's easier. So you press extract. Now, if you go to downloads, you will see that here's the original and that's zipped, and this is the unzipped one. And you'll have these two images to use in your project. So you're going to do that for all these to be able to use them. Okay. So this is the media kit. Now we're going to be using that to create a mock-up of a desktop site and then a mobile device site. And so what I wanted you guys to show you how to do is just kind of create a mock-up of, let's say you were kind of looking to create a design for a website. You're not really coding or anything. You're just creating the look and the style of it. And then your job is, as the designer, to come up with the style and then send all the details over to the coder, and the coder will get everything functioning once it's approved by your clients. So our job today, I'm going to be showing you how to set up for a desktop and a mobile device. Whenever you hear the word responsive, that means that a website is, they create very different variations of sizes, so that at certain pixel sizes, it looks one way. And then if your screen changes or the screen size gets smaller, some of the icons, some of the shapes, and some of the images are moved to accommodate the smaller screens or the bigger screens. So an example will be, if I'm right here on the Dutch Bros website, my screen is this big, but now, sorry. If I were to do this, you can see that it's changing as my window gets smaller and bigger, and that's called responsiveness. So we're going to be designing one with a large or a common website size, and then we're going to go to a smaller one for like mobile devices. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to get started, how to do some effects and techniques, and then kind of show you some really cool stuff that should save you some time later on down the road. Okay, so I'm going to go to File New, and we're going to do Web and Web Most Common, and then press Create. Now we're going to be using Artboards again, and let's go ahead and name this one Desktop. So you can click right here where it says Artboard 1 and name it Desktop. And the first thing I like to do is just pull this down a little bit. Let me scroll down. Okay. And what we want to do is download the ones for the shops and then place one of those images. That's what I would do first. And you don't have to place exactly what I'm placing. You can change it up. So File, Place Embedded. And let's go ahead and go to Downloads. And I have my shops ones right here. Here's my shop, and press, I'm going to use this one this time. All right, I'm going to stretch it. Okay, press enter. All right, so we did that. And what I want to do now is go ahead and make it darker. So we're going to be using an adjustment layer, and we're going to go to levels, and we're going to pull the whites down a little bit to make it darker like that. Very good. And we're doing this because we're going to be adding text on top and stuff. Okay, now we always want to use grids when we're doing website design or mockups, just to make sure everything's lining up. So we go to View, and then New Guide from Layout. And then 8 is fine, so you just press OK. And this helps us align stuff and kind of thing, get more of a flow to it. What I'm going to do now is add a header on top with some color. My last one, I used the yellow from the logo. And let's go ahead and place the logo so I can sample some colors from there. So File, Place Embedded. get the logo once from the downloads. Let's go ahead and get the Artboard logo. And I'm going to place it right here for right now. Okay. So you can use the blue, the yellow, the red for the top. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try the red. The red's very strong. So I'm going to get the rectangle tool and then make sure that it says shape. The fill, the color looks good. If you wanted to change the color, you click right here. You can click right here in the picker and then pick different colors. So press OK, and I'm going to hold Shift and drag. Sorry, mine is yellow. Let me change it to red. Okay, and I really like the yellow. The red, I think it's just too strong. Okay. Now I'm gonna put my logo right. I could put it right here, but you can't really see it. I could put it right here on top. So I'm gonna bring it on top of that. But I'm gonna make this, pull this down more. Hold Shift. Bring the picture down more. Let's go ahead and add some text now. So if you click on the picture, it shows the grid. And what I like to do is get the type tool, T, and then click and drag like this and use my guides. Okay, so if you've never done print publication, let me show you some stuff real quick. Let me just delete this. All right, so we have a column right here, another column, and in between we have these things called gutters. So we have a column, a gutter, a column, a gutter, a column, a gutter. And you can change the gutter size if you were to go back to your settings. If you ever learn InDesign, you'll learn about column widths and gutters and all that stuff. And right now I'm working on a 50-page magazine. And so I'm having to do a lot of print publication and use a lot of guides, especially with magazine publication. So this one's a website design, so it's a little bit easier. Okay, I'm gonna get the type tool. And then what I'm gonna do is before I start making my text box, I'm gonna click on this. All right, so let's go ahead. I like the font pairing, and I had to activate some fonts to make it happen. So right here, I use Kesimoda. And what I did is I activated that font. So if you don't have it activated, you can click right here, more fonts from Adobe. And then if you want to type in that font, QUES, C, double check, Quasimodo. Okay, activate some of these. So I have thin, and then light italic, and then regular activated. The other ones I don't. It's a nice looking, it's a nice font face. So I want you to activate that one, and then I also want you to activate, let's see. Nope, that's the same one. Roboto Slab Serif. So Roboto Slab is the one I want to activate too. And this one I should have put it at Roboto also, but I didn't. So let me see. Roboto. Yeah, there you go. Nice. Okay, and I would make that font smaller. This is me getting picky. Sorry. Okay, let me go back to my other one. Okay, so type tool T. Let's get our Roboto slab light, which is good. Font size, you want a good reading size, 16. And I'm gonna click and drag like this. And then what I want to do is I want to go to type and then paste Lorem Ipsum. Okay. And I'm going to choose white as my font. And this is really small. So let's go ahead and go with 24 for right now. Oh, this is below. So we went on top. Not too bad. I'm going to do Quasimodo. Regular on there. It's a good font. Okay, and then probably put my logo right here. And then what I can do is to make it stand out, I can go to FX and then I can do a drop shadow if I wanted to. See? Press OK. And then that means this doesn't have to be so big. Hold shift and drag it up like that. Bring this one back up. And then it's about design. We're always moving things, kind of working with the proximity and the spacing and how it looks. Let me place the other logo right here. So file, place embedded. I haven't even designed the mobile one yet. Okay. And then let's get the type tool. Click and drag it here. I'm going to type in menu, space, locations, hours. You can add more. Oops, Control Z. Oh, that's kind of cool. Sometimes you make some stuff by accident and then you end up liking it. Okay. And I'm going to make this a little bit higher right there. Not too bad. If you want to adjust the levels again, you can go over here and then change the level some more to make it darker. I like to also click in the mask and then just kind of bring some of that up a little bit like that. So it kind of creates some nice dynamic change in it. And I'm not deleting anything. I'm just hiding parts of the darkness and kind of bring that up. It's pretty cool. Okay. So I've done that. And my other one, you can see that's pretty much what I did, but then I added some more to this website right here. And so I'm going to show you how to do that real quick. Let's go ahead and, so this is affecting, I want this just to affect the image. So I'm going to alt and go like this and create a clipping mask. And so now this levels is only adjusting the picture and not like this area down here. I'm going to pull this down a little bit more. And I'm going to get the type tool again. Make sure I click on this. Click and drag. And this one's going to be called drinks. Okay. Up. And that one's going to be my Roboto slab. There we go. And let's make this bigger. Luckily, the font color is the one I already sampled from the logo. And now what I can do is just get the rectangle, or the square, sorry, and then make boxes in these little areas like this. And then if I want to change the color, you can double click right here and then pick a color. You know, you can do red, blue. It's okay. And then to make a copy of stuff, you hold down Alt, Shift, and drag. And Alt, Shift, and drag, and you keep going. Then what I'm going to do is place an image of one of the coffee cups and just cut it out using a mask. Oops, Control Z. A little trick I do is I hold Shift and I click on, I don't let go of Shift and I just keep on clicking on these. They remain selected, and now I hold Alt Shift and drag down and do that. I missed this one. Cool. And I really look at proximity, the spacing, and then the same spacing right here, and then my spacing away from the edges. Okay, so far I've done the desktop version of my kind of mock-up. What I'm going to do next is add another, I scroll back, and I get the Artboard tool. Usually it's underneath the Move tool. I'm going to add another Artboard, and this one's going to be called mobile device or mobile. And mobile is usually 480 pixels wide by however many long is fine. Not that long though. Okay. And we're pretty much going to do the same thing. We're going to kind of like create a different dynamic than over there. So like right here, we want our Dutch Bros logo on this side. And maybe I just want a white background, which is, it looks pretty cool like that. And you need a menu. So like maybe for your menu, you have those 3 dots or 3 lines. So rectangle. Let's go ahead and get some roundness to that. Whoa. My computer's glitching. Okay, I do not want a stroke on there. And I want to fill it with this yellow. What I did is with the rectangle tool, I clicked right here and I gave it some rounded, I rounded the edges of this rectangle. So I'm going to make 3 of them. Okay, a quick little waffle. Dutch Bros like that. That's still the strings right here. Let's add this guy right here, but really big. And then I'm going to throw one of the baristas in the back and then kind of lower the opacity and blend it in. So place embedded. And this is not the advanced trick. I'll show you what's up right now. Okay. Barista, let's go ahead and go with her right now. Really big. Like off the side. And then what I like to do is put it behind, make sure it's behind everything. And let's go ahead and lower the opacity. And give it a layer mask. And then let's go ahead and use a big brush. And we're going to kind of blend it. Smaller brush now to fix the edges. I use the left and right brackets to make the brush bigger and smaller. Oops. Okay, and then same thing, I would cut out a drink and put it right there. But it's really simple. You can see the difference. But like, I'm going to start off bigger, and then this is more responsive like that, and then maybe like locations. Sometimes stuff's going to be at the bottom, and then my color is going to be the Dutch Brothers blue. Pretty cool. And then most websites you can just keep on scrolling. So like as it's scrolling, you can keep on adding more and stuff like that. So stretch down. I really want to see how you guys are going to design this and see how you guys are adapting it. Pretty cool. I really like designing for UI design, the way people interact with certain things. It's pretty cool. All right. So far it's not too bad. So far, I really look at how I'm lining things up, my placement of images, my blending of images, whether I can read the text or not, whether you're choosing the right pairing of fonts. One thing that when you're activating fonts, it's really cool. You can click on more fonts from Adobe, and it kind of gives you like a font pairing. So if you kind of like said, let's say you're looking for the Robo Slab, right? You can scroll down. So if you select this one, and it shows you the Robo Slab, you can scroll down, and it says, "Hey, look at these fonts go well with each other." And then you can see, Quasimodo Regular goes with Roboto pretty good. And then we have Roboto and Interstate Regular. So you can see those two working together for a font pairing. And then you can just activate them and use them in your design and see how they look. Okay, so now as a designer, we create this mockup and it gets approved. But now we got to send it to the coder. And we have to send like the details of what colors we're using. We have to send the details of the placement of the text, the images, and everything like that. So there's a couple of easy ways to export images And I'm going to be showing you those right now. And the first way is what you can do is you can make sure your auto select is on. Make sure you have the move tool. Select your image, and so here's this one right here, the shop. And what you can do is right click, and then you want a quick export. But the thing is, mine is set to JPEG. Most of them are set to PNG. So you have to go to Edit and Preferences, and then go to Export. And you can change. It's called a quick export. So anytime I click on that feature, it's gonna export to where pretty much every time I click on it, ask where to export each time. Or you can change it to export files to an assets folder. And so I like to do ask me where am I going to save it to. You can change the image type, so JPEG, and press OK. And now I can right click and then quick export as a JPEG. And then I can choose my location. So if it's going to be desktop, press save. And then now if I were to go to the desktop, you would see that it's saved it right here. So then I could send this to my coder and he has the perfect size and everything for me. The next way, and then you would do that for the rest of them. So go to your next image. So let's say I'm getting the girl right here, click on that. And then you can see it shows over here, right click, quick export as JPEG, and then press save, and then it's loaded. Now, the other way is what you have to do is go to File, Save As. You have to save your design first. So wherever you save it to, that's where it's going to send your images to. So let's say I go to Documents and I create a new folder. Okay. Open that. Okay. Save. I saved it in a certain location. Now what you want to do is turn on, you want to go edit, and then you want to turn on some features. So, file, and we want to go to generate and image assets. So we want to generate image assets. Okay, so now the way this one works is if you select your image and change the name, well, you add an extension of .jpg. So watch JPG, press enter. Now, if I go to my documents and open up, so go to documents, and then I go to my Dutch Bros, you can see, look at it created a folder of those assets. And now all I got to do is do that for the rest of them. So click on this one, add the extension .jpg, and it automatically exported it to that folder. Little trick, see, it's pretty cool. And you do that for the rest of them too. So that's one way of exporting stuff. Now, let's say you want this to be perfectly sent to your, pretty much the specifics of the fonts, location, and the font size to your coder. What you could do is you can select it, and then you go to, let's see, which one was it again? Layer, and then copy CSS. And what that does is let's say I open up a notepad and I paste this copy, and what it does is it copies the pixel size of the font, the typeface it has, so Roboto Slab, the color I'm using, pretty much the weight and the line weight, and then the location of where it's at and everything like that. So you would send this information if your coder was like, hey, where is the placement of this text? I see it here and there, but exactly where it's at. Same thing with this one. You can layer, copy CSS, and this is for your body text. And so if I go over here and then let's say body text, paste it in there, and this one's for drinks title. And so this kind of helps your coders kind of be like, okay, so I know what fonts are it's at, where is it at, the color, and then the size, and it just helps them code everything a lot faster. Because our job is to kind of create the image, and then it's their job to take that image and make it functional and working and get the most responsive website so that it's not lagging and the image size is great and converted so that it loads fast for your consumers. So I hope this helped you guys out, and I really want to see you guys create a desktop version for Dutch Bros and a mobile version, and then I want you to try to maybe export some of your images into a folder and see how it goes. What I would like for you to turn in is honestly the Photoshop file for this project. So I want you to file save as a PDF and just turn it in. I want to see your layers. I want to see everything, and how are you doing with blending some of these, and then your adjustment layers, and using all the skills you've learned this semester to create 2 mockups. And then I'm really going to look at your text selection, your image placement, and how you're lining things up, and whether you have these guides turned on. You can see that I didn't turn it on for the mobile device, but you can. So you just pretty much go to View, New Guide from Layout. For mobile device, you don't have to have 8. You can have 4. Press OK, and you can use this to adjust accordingly. So like, let's say you want it to be right there in the center, like that. And that one looks good. And maybe these need to be more to the right, centered in between that column. I would do that too. Okay. Well, you guys have a good one, and I look forward to seeing your work.